Of Mr. Hutchinson's class. Today, you're going to learn about your brain, specifically your cerebrum. Now, you may have learned about this in in health or at home, but today we'll get into a deeper understanding of it. The objectives of this lesson are to teach you about the functions of the different lobes of the cerebrum, the location of the cerebrum, and the two hemispheres. Please listen carefully to this lesson because you're about to receive really important information. You're allowed to take notes if you really want to.
The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, as it covers nearly 2/3 of the area of the brain. The cerebrum is covered in a thin layer of gray tissue called the cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex is very wrinkled in order to fit more gray matter into the skull. The cerebral cortex is the uppermost part of the brain, so you could say that's a part of your head that's in the clouds. On a more serious note, you have to remember that the cerebral cortex is the uppermost part of your brain. The cerebral cortex is divided into two hemispheres, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, obviously. These two hemispheres are connected by the corpus allosum. Remember that. The two hemispheres are connected by the corpus allosum. The hemispheres are further divided into lobes.
Specifically, 4 lobes. These 4 lobes are the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, and the temporal lobe. Repeat it with me. The frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, and the temporal lobe. The frontal lobe is associated with reasoning, planning, parts of speech, movement, emotions, and problem solving. The frontal lobe is considered the most important lobe for intelligence and personality. Gotta love that lobe. Next, let's move on to the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe is associated with movement, orientation, recognition, and perception of stimuli. Third, let's talk about the occipital lobe. The occipital is associated with visual processing, which means it handles information from the eyes. The last lobe is the temporal lobe, which is associated with perception and recognition of auditory stimuli, memory, and speech. Auditory stimuli means the temporal lobe is closely associated with ears and hearing. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson made by the Real Men Genius 2.0.